بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال تعالى إن الله يحب التوابين ويحب المتطهرين وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الطهور شطر الإيمان أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب زدني علما. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, once again we are back with our weekly short lecture. And before going into this week's subject and topic, I would like to briefly remind about last week's challenge for the good deeds. And the challenge for last week was about Sifa Ihsan, the quality of Ihsan, and we spoke about it with the subject of the holy months, the special months in Islam, and with that our subject was about ihsan, how to get it, and in which part you have to focus and what to focus on to get this quality. And as we came to conclusion, it was about two parts in that. One was huququllah and the second was huququl ibad, the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the rights of Allah's creation. So to get this quality, and this quality is about to get the beautiness in the ibadah when it comes towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and when it comes to the rights of people, and do that for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So hopefully about the subject of ihsan, that we have been focusing on that, and inshallah in some extent we are implementing in the manner that we are understanding what Sifa Ihsan is, and we are trying to learn more about that, and we inshallah implementing that, and we are trying to convey about that quality to others also. Inshallah, with that I would like to continue with our today's subject. And before just going into that, I would like to say one more thing about our weekly short lectures. That is, the purpose of these short lectures is about to give awareness so that we can understand the importance of the subjects which we are talking about. In this short time, 15-20 minutes every week, the purpose is not that we will be masters in the subjects which we speak about or which we listen about. No, the purpose is to get awareness. These subjects and these topics are important. So why I should learn, and how I should learn, and how I should practice and to implement and to convey to others. So the purpose of this weekly short lectures is to just get awareness so we can continue from there on to seek more knowledge about the subject, so in order to implement in our life. So may Allah give us ability. Now today's subject is about cleanliness and tahara. So the purity in Islam has very big part, and it is said in hadith of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, الطهور شطر الإيمان. It is called as half of Iman, or big part of Iman, or faith. So very big part of our faith is actually to be clean. And now it has quite few areas to think of. One is the the physical and on the body which we focus on. But there are four different areas which we inshallah cover in today's short lecture, and try to just get explanation of what the four areas are and how to get awareness of that, inshallah. One is body, which we will be inshallah talking about. The other one is soul, your soul that Allah has given you, the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the third is heart, your heart, the cleanliness of heart, and the cleanliness of your belief, that your belief is also clean for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these four areas are there. Now we need to know these four areas are all important areas. If we start with the body, Shah Waliullah, he mentions the cleanliness is the mean that gives you chance to worship. So it gets you ready for the worshipping. So when you are clean, then you are prepared for worshipping, and then automatically it saves you from bad habits or bad things, because if you are clean, you are ready for worshipping, then you will stay away from harms and from the bad habits. So we have one part is the cleanliness of your body, the other part is cleanliness of your soul. And of course, why is important? Because once a person dies, the soul gets away from the person's body, and it is something which is order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When that is pure, then inshallah it will help us also. So our body and soul should be pure, and our heart should be pure, and only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once again, that it should be filled with the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the love of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the love for whole mankind, and love for the good deeds. It shouldn't be filled with hatred for people. So this heart should be pure and only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And our belief that when we spoke about Islam and Iman, we spoke about 6 articles of belief, and then what was mentioned there was that these articles of belief shouldn't be just on our tongue, as that we count them on the finger and we know them by heart. No, we should be knowing them as what it means and what it requires from me. So belief should be firm, and it should be pure, and it should be clean. So these are the 4 areas. When we come to the cleanliness of body, and you have 2 kind of impurity, and one is najasa haqiqi, and the other is najasa hukmi. So najasa haqiqi is kind of najasa impurity that is also 2 kinds there. One is that is seen, you can see it. It could be stool or it could be blood. What is the hukum there is to clean, to wash until you don't see any effect on either his body or clothes or something else where the blood or stool or anything which is seen. So you do the cleaning of that until you don't see that. What is exception there is sometime there are stains which are left, but the actual effect is gone because of the type of cloth or something which is having the stain remaining, but the effect is gone. Then there is exception, but more or less in general ruling is you wash that until the effect or the stain is gone away. And the other in the najasa hukmi, the other najasa, other impurity is which are not seen. It could be example urine or wine or something else which you have dropped, but you cannot see the stains of that. Sometimes it is because of the color of the clothes or something, you cannot see it. So what is the hukum there? It's you do it properly 3 times, at least 3 times properly. You clean it properly 3 times. But sometimes what happens that it could be something very heavy or difficult to move. It could be a mat in your room, or it could be your mattress, which is quite big, and it's not really ideal to move it, or really practical to move it. So what is there is to use something which is good for the cleaning in that area. You use it and you do same procedure 3 times if it's not seen. If it's seen, you do until it's not seen. So that is the way of cleaning najasa haqiqi. When it comes to najasa hukmi, you have to understand what is it. It is, one example of that is when you visit toilet, you have a toilet visit, you clean yourself with water, tissue paper, etc., and you come out. Itself, you are clean. You have done your procedure, istinja, and you are clean, you are out of the toilet now. But in hukum, in the state of cleanliness and pureness, you are not properly pure for ibadah. You are not ready for ibadah. You have to do something more. That is wudu. You have to do wudu. So get in the state of wudu. That is important to for the ibadah. So that is your in the sense ritual cleaning of your and ritual preparation for the ibadah. So wudu, it is done after you have najasa hukmi, and that is that you are clean yourself, you are pure in that sense, but you are not pure for the ibadah. So you do a wudu. But one thing is to remember here, wudu is done on the parts which are not really the part of istinja. You know, you do istinja, you do in the when you are in toilet, you clean yourself, but these parts in wudu are not the ones which are in generally used or in any used in the toilet. So why you are doing that? Because that is the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the verse, the part in the ayah, the part I just mentioned also now, it is about this. Allah is mentioning, Allah don't want to put you in hardship, but Allah wants you to be clean. And that is with 3 means. Either it is done with wudu, in the ayah where it is explained, the wudu procedure, فَاغْسِلُوا أَيْدِيَكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ, that about whole procedure of your wudu. And then it is in the second stage, it is ghusl, taking bath, and the third stage is tayammum. So these stages are for the different occasion and different state of najasa, because it is a subject itself. When it comes to when it's wuzu have to be done, and when wuzu is broken, and when ghusl have to be done, how should ghusl be done, and tayammum, when it's necessary, when can I do tayammum, where do I if I don't find water, or if I have any other excuse, etc. So this tayammum itself is a subject. So this, as I mentioned in the beginning, these lectures are not about discussing things in deep. It's about to get awareness, so you can learn about different procedures. So you know that procedures are there, and the importance of this procedure are there, but you need to be yourself delegated to learn, inshallah, about this. So anyhow, inshallah, we will carry on. So we just briefly spoke about najasa haqiqi and najasa hukmi. And now we come to one part which is also important to understand. That is, our mindset, culturally mindset is, that we see, okay, in this culture they are, their habit is to be, to keep everything clean and tidy and etc. But that is their thing. But we are, very easy people. Let us be how we are. We shouldn't be, putting much effort on that. That is cultural stuff. No, we should know Islam is about cleanliness and, and tidiness. So we should know that it is part of Islam. It is not part of culture. Of course, Islam is teaching us the middle way. You shouldn't be, in the group who are careless about this topic about cleanliness, and you shouldn't be in the group which are just focusing on this too much. They just forget everything else. You should be in the middle way, that you should be taking care of this subject and the importance of cleanliness, because it is part of your faith and it is part of our faith. So we should be taking care of this particular part in our life, but you shouldn't be doing more than you need to do. What I mean with that, I will explain with some examples. One is we should know is that it is said you do the part 3 times. You clean it 3 times. Then you do that 3 times. You don't have to do more to waste water or any other means, because you are just in doubt it is clean or not. Or any other way that that you do you do dusting of your house 10 times a day, because you are waste too much of into that cleanliness and tidiness, and then you don't get time for any other thing in your life. So it should be, everything in Islam is about i'tidal, in the middle way. So you can do and you should do, but do in the manner that you don't put yourself in hardship, because Allah is mentioning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants easiness for us, and Allah wants that we are pure and we are clean, but we don't put ourselves in the hardship. Now, one thing is to remember here for our weekly challenge, that is our weekly challenge for this week is that purity and cleanliness in these 4 focusing areas which we just spoke about in brief. It is about body, it is about soul, it is about heart, and it is about your belief. And this 4 subject itself, as I mentioned, are subject itself, and it needs time itself. So what our aim and challenge for this week is that we focus on learning this in detail, and learning and then understanding and then implementing and to convey to others. Because why is important? Because as we mentioned, cleanliness is half of Iman, half of faith, and when we have that, then the other part will be easier. And as I mentioned earlier, that this weekly subject of ours, weekly short lectures, are not to cover the whole subject, but it is to mention the importance. So in order we get awareness, and with that we are ready to learn more. That is one of the main focus, that we can learn more about this subject. Or inshallah, that's why we are encouraging from this week also that this weekly challenge for this week will be to learn more about this particular subject in the manner that we seek knowledge about these 3 topics, these 4 different areas in the topic of cleanliness, how it should be. Because every part of this, when body is clean, as I mentioned, Shah Waliullah mentions that it is the means to do ibadah. It is the means to do ibadah, and it gets you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you are in the state. And even a person without belief, even a disbeliever, when a person is clean, then the focus goes on what? It goes on the good things. When you have, even if you say a disbeliever takes shower or cleans or wash their face, or wash themselves, then of course they get fresh. So in the same manner, when a believer take shower or make wudu, the mind is fresh and the body is fresh, and automatically it has effect on the soul also. It has effect on your inner self also, and then you are mentally, physically, and psychologically you are prepared for the ibadah. So it is very important to, inshallah, to keep that in mind. And regarding the one ayah which I was mentioning, Inna Allah yuhibbu tawabin wa yuhibbu al-mutatahhirin, about the people of Quba. You know, the first masjid in Islam, it was built, it was Masjid Quba. And this Masjid Quba, when it was built, and this people was praised by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked them, what do you do? So Allah is praising them. So they mentioned, apart from clay, we use water also after that. So alhamdulillah, we have chance, so we should be also taking care of that. In clay, instead of clay, we have tissue papers today. So tissue paper and water, then inshallah we'll be doing the same hukum. And the main purpose is that we learn more about this subject, inshallah, and we learn in details in about all 4 parts, about body, about soul, about heart, and about our belief, that we clean that. And this is our weekly challenge, to learn more about that, to understand and to implement and to convey to others. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.